Okay, I'm here with Luke Marsden, CTO of ClusterHQ. Luke, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
So, can you tell us a little bit first? Your main product is Flocka. What is Flocka and what does it do?
So Flocka is basically a way of connecting the container universe to the storage universe. What we've done is to solve one of the big problems that you have with containerizing stateful workloads, which is that by default, out of the box, when you deploy a database or another stateful application in a Docker container, Docker best practices suggest that you allocate a volume from the host, but a volume is just a directory on the host. So as soon as you allocate the volume on the host and then start running the database in the container, the moment that that database writes a single byte to disk, that database effectively becomes stuck on that machine. You then can't move that container from one machine to another. And of course, the big promise of containers is portability, and you don't want to end up with machines that are pets rather than cattle in your data center. So what we've done with Flocka is to sort of abstract away that concept of a volume into something that exists and persists beyond the lifetime of a container or even a container host. So with Flocka, you can run a database in a container with a Flocka volume, and that Flocka volume can move around between different machines.
And so, who would be somebody who's using it? Maybe you can't say actual customer names, but maybe the types or the use cases.
Yeah, sure. So one example of a great customer that we have is a company called Swisscom out in Switzerland. And what they're doing is they've deployed Flocka alongside Cloud Foundry to provide stateful services to their platform as a service. So now with the Swisscom developer portal, you can log in, you can deploy your app using Cloud Foundry, and you can also provision stateful services like MariaDB, MongoDB, Redis, and so forth alongside it. And so they then use Flocka to do operational management on their clusters of stateful containers.
Very cool. Well, there's some special news today about a plugin that was written by an engineer at Dell to connect to Flocka. You want to say a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. And it's been a great pleasure working with Dell on this project. It's really exciting to expand the portfolio of storage plugins that we have with Flocka. And so the way that Flocka works is that it has what we call drivers. So they're drivers for different backends. So for example, if you're running on Amazon AWS, then you can plug into EBS. So Flocka has an EBS backend. And so today we're announcing the Dell backend. And so this means that you can run Flocka directly on machines that are connected to Dell storage hardware. And then what Flocka will manage is the connection upwards. Sort of we think about sort of northbound and southbound connectivity. So Flocka will manage all of the northbound connectivity with different orchestration frameworks. So you can run Flocka with just Docker on its own via the Flocka Docker plugin, or you can run it with Docker Swarm or Kubernetes, or even Mesosphere and Marathon. So whatever your choice of container orchestration framework for your microservice deployment, you can run Flocka. Flocka will plug into that sort of northbound, and then southbound it will plug into, in this instance, your Dell infrastructure. So yeah, it's really exciting to announce that partnership and announce the availability of that driver.
Awesome. Luke Marsden, thank you so much.
Thanks.